We don't like the hair weave. We don't like the eyelashes, the fake eyelashes. We don't like all the makeup, right? That's making them look like yammies and transformers. It seems like the more and more they wear it, it seems like they are either deaf to what we're saying, or they don't want to hear what we're saying, or they just want to be opposite of us so badly that they continue to do the things that we tell them that we don't like.
Modern women trade all of their baby making years for travel photos. It's like, lady, what are you going to do at 60? You gonna ask your golden retriever for a Christmas gift?
Our mothers were traditional women. Women today are not traditional women. They don't have the caste our mothers had. They don't have the mentality our mothers had. They don't have the patience.
What's the definition of a traditional woman?
A traditional woman thinks of her family before she thinks of her own self.
Let a woman be confident, comfortable in her own skin, and watch how men try to tear her down. For some reason, men do not like seeing women happy and confident. Men get triggered when they are not the center of attention in a woman's life. And that's why we hear men say things like this.
As a woman, if you want to piss men off, be decent looking, enjoy your space, look like you live a comfortable life, and men are going to be so triggered in your comment section. So I posted a video on Valentine's Day, just drinking a glass of rosé and just relaxing and being thankful for being single and not having any stress from a man. And guess what? The men on TikTok were pressed, and some of them decided to post distasteful comments. And so we're going to go through some of the comments and then I would respond. So the first comment says, upon all your hate for men and your PhD, you don't know how to hold a glass of wine. It's sad. First of all, I do not hate men. I address patriarchy, and my goal is to dismantle patriarchy in every analysis if it is a gendered analysis. Also, this is not a wine glass. This is a champagne glass. There is a difference. And it doesn't matter how I hold a champagne glass. I'm in my own space, paying for my life. I'm not in a formal setting where I'm being critiqued on etiquette, so I don't get it. But again, men are always triggered when a woman is relaxed and at ease. The next comment says, loneliness will kill you. You see, and it's always men who are unattractive and struggling that post these comments. But you see, men are so shallow and they don't realize that having somebody around you does not mean that you have that true connection and you have company. Most women are with men and they are lonely because men do not know how to bond emotionally with women. Only an unintelligent man will believe that having a man around you means you have a true sense of connection. The most loneliest group of women are married women, including your own mother. I'm just being honest. The next comment is about me using a vibrator. Bonnie Gaskins cited a previous study, but in a more contemporary study, when over 50,000 respondents were asked, 95% of men got an orgasm during sex, whilst only 65% of women climaxed during penetrative intercourse. In the same article, 92% of women reached orgasm when they touched themselves. Also, between 53% to 85% of women have faked orgasm in the bedroom. And dear women, I want you to be honest with men, because a lot of men walk around having an overestimated idea of their performance in the bedroom. I mean, going by the data, it makes more sense for women to pleasure themselves than bother themselves with engaging with men, because most women would not even reach their peak. Now, the final comment I would like to read is, we've seen your type. Now, last, them go change them a bio and caption to taken/mother. I mean, how low can you think? You think I did 4 years of bachelor's, 2 years master's, 5 years PhD, almost 5 years postdoctoral training, a total of 16 years for me to change my bio to taken or mother? How many successful and professional men do you see husband/father in their bios? No, you would see their professional title, engineer, lawyer, etc. So why would a woman bring herself down to say taken? Taken by who? A man?
I think the reason why men act like this is because when a woman knows her worth, they cannot manipulate her into doing free labor for them. They cannot emotionally blackmail her into staying with them when they're just doing the barest minimum. And that's what scares them. They want to be able to manipulate a woman. They don't want women knowing our worth. They don't want us independent. They don't want us educated. They don't want us thriving on our own. In fact, it is a threat to a man that a woman actually is existing outside of a man and she's happy. She's contented. She's not sad. She's not miserable like society claims that she would be. So I think that's the major scare for most men. And that's why they always project their insecurities on women. Because come to think of it, if you're actually happy, what are you doing in someone else's DM? Bashing her and trying to convince her that she's actually not happy, that she's faking her happiness.
I am just reacting to these comments to emphasize the fact that as a woman, all you have to do is to exist, is to be decent looking and not have men be part of your life, and men will be so triggered and be so angry in your comments. So continue being triggered in the comment section, and I'm gonna be out here enjoying my beautiful life without a man involved.
In 2021, when I tried to break off my long-term relationship with my ex of 3 years, I remember I specifically told him, I love you, but I love myself way more. And he could not grasp that concept. It's either he couldn't grasp it or he didn't want to grasp it. But regardless, he didn't have a very good reaction to that when I said it. And he took it very personally. He started attacking me and being like, what do you mean? What is that supposed to mean? So you don't unconditionally love me? And I was like, no, I don't unconditionally love you. And I'm breaking up with you because I don't unconditionally love you. And I never will. I never will unconditionally love a man, because this is exactly their goal. Their goal is to make sure that your happiness depends on them. But the second that they know that your happiness depends on them, they take it away from you. They take it away from you. They stop making you happy. They stop going above and beyond. And this is typically when you experience the honeymoon phase in a relationship starting to die out, right? Because as soon as they got you hooked within those first 3 months, 6 months or whatever, then they let you know how they actually feel about you. And how they actually feel about you is threatened. They're always threatened. Aren't they always threatened? As women, our happiness is our power, and these men are selfish, and they want to take that happiness and they want to use it for their own gain. And so what they're going to do is they're going to pretend that they love you so much, and they're going to get you hooked into the relationship. And as soon as you're hooked in the relationship, that's when you're going to start seeing all the toxic behaviors, all the negging, all the manipulation, all the narcissism, all the red flags, and you're going to be like, whoa, wait, this is not the same guy I was just dating. It is.
Yeah, I agree with the part where she said men don't want you to love yourself. Because a woman who loves herself is a direct threat to a man who does not love himself. We all know for years a lot of men have benefited from women not knowing their worth, from women having low self-esteem. And it's been happening for decades, for years. And that's why today it's very difficult for the common man to grasp that a woman actually loves herself and is centering herself. Her entire universe does not center around him. Is not trying to seek their validation and would dare to love herself more than him. This is how low vibrational incel men think. Their manipulation can only work on women who do not have a good sense of worth, who have low self-esteem, who still center men, seek their validation, does not have a good dose of self-worth. And this is why they are mad that women are starting to center ourselves, love ourselves more, decenter men, and are actually happy in our own lives without men involved.
I see comments like this, I can literally smell the jealousy and the envy. Oh, how dare women be so free-spirited and liberated, and they can just come online and they can just be fun and whimsical and playful and be silly, and we have to go out there and make money and we have to do this. That is what I'm getting from this comment and comments like this, because I get comments like this from men all the time. We don't think that, to be honest. We think they are vain, conceited, demanding attention, endless compliments. They come across as extremely self-indulgent and silly. Just say that you were never allowed to experience life the way that you wanted to experience it because you're a man and you spent your whole life being judged harshly and criticized and being expected to provide value in society, otherwise no one's even going to look at you. Just say that, okay? And leave women alone. Leave women alone. Stop projecting all your pain and your trauma onto women. Women can dance. Women can dance on tables if they want. Women can whip their hair back and forth. They can do whatever they want. That does not define a woman. None of these things have anything to do with that woman's value.
This is a genuine question. Why are men so miserable? You know what? I could probably answer that question myself. Like, one, y'all set up the patriarchy and it works against you too, honey. The other thing is y'all don't get none. So, you know, you're probably just miserable. You're broke. You're balding at 25. But besides that, why are you miserable? You know, why? It's just so funny because I'll post me just living my life so happy, genuinely happy. You know, I'll talk about how being single and having standards and pouring into myself and in my friendships and my family and my career, how that's my priority. And men start foaming at the mouth. They start getting so mad. They'll come onto my comments, they'll call me the most heinous things. And mind you, they're all ugly as hell. But I just don't understand. Y'all could be living the same life. Y'all could be happy and thriving and minding your own business, but y'all just so damn angry, you know? But anyway, it makes my mornings, honestly. Getting hate comments, I just feel like I'm doing something right.
I've made a video about how the patriarchy hurts men as much as it hurts women. But we see the effect of the patriarchy on men. We see how much they crave to be loved. They crave for attention. We see how much of a failure they feel like when they don't attain this so-called expectations that the patriarchy has set for them. We see it in how they relate with women and show anger and bitterness when a woman is happy and just existing in her own space in this world. It's the fact that the patriarchy has lied to men and made them think that women were made for their pleasure, women were made to give them babies, and anything outside of that cannot stand. Anything outside of that should be questioned and should be fought. That's how the patriarchy is messing with them, that they cannot stand a strong, powerful, independent woman. That's why they see themselves as failures and get depressed when women are living their dream life and attaining heights that they have not attained themselves. So the reality is not matching up with their expectation of women. And that's why they are miserable. Women threaten men. Because why else are they going through all this stress if they don't feel threatened by women? For me, it's all low self-esteem at play in this. Most men, they look strong, but they have low self-esteem. If you think you're powerful, why do you feel threatened by another person?
Modern women trade all of their baby-making years for travel photos. It's like, lady, what are you going to do at 60? You going to ask your golden retriever for a Christmas gift?
And this is another reason as to why we have a male loneliness epidemic. It's crazy to me how some of you can't stand to see women enjoying their lives. Women are out here having a good time, they're traveling, they're pursuing careers, they're doing their own thing. Women are choosing to be single, okay? They're choosing not to date y'all, and you guys can't handle that. Y'all really think that women exist for you. Okay, y'all think a woman's only purpose in life is to date you and give you children. No! It's very scary and dangerous for a woman to start a family with some of you guys. Do you want to know how many men have children and they don't take care of them? It's crazy. Y'all want to make families only to abandon them. How does that make any sense? And then you get mad because women don't want to deal with that. You know what I'm saying? Guys like this are going to grow old, alone, and living in mommy's basement.
A lot of men are not willing to do the inner work to match up with modern women of these days. Most of them cannot do the inner work to get out of low vibrational traits. And no woman is willing to put up with that. If you're not willing to grow, and evolve from that low vibrational level, and women are not going to put up with that. And they're going to remain sad, miserable, and throwing tantrums all over the internet. And it's so unfortunate that a lot of them are not even capable of doing the inner work to heal and become high vibrational. But they are always going to be full of hate and misery. And we see the end result by how they come online and be rude to women, nasty, dropping silly comments under the post of women that are actually enjoying their lives and just existing. A woman is posting how she's happy, how she's actually going on vacation, living her best life, and you'd see a grown-up man in her comment section trying to convince her that she's actually not happy. You are not married, so how are you happy? Like, oh, you're faking your happiness. A man who cannot stand seeing a woman loving herself is a man who does not love himself. Plain, blank, and simple.
The function of misogyny could be men trying to collectively lower women's self-esteem so they stand a chance. We see an analog of this within relationships. So low mate value men within relationships choose what's called a cost-inflicting mate retention strategy, where they literally try and lower their partner's self-esteem so that they are less inclined to leave them. This collective group misogyny is like that strategy except from outside relationships. Incels do this all the time. They say things like, oh, you're going to hit the wall when you're over 30, your mate value will run out.
So these guys, they feel they can't provide value themselves to these women. So instead of adding benefits to her life and providing value, they inflict cost on her to avoid her from running off with these other potentially high status or higher status men that she's hanging out with.
Precisely. Lower mate value men choose the cost infliction strategy. There's been a lot of research in the last number of years that show this trend that misogyny is most pronounced in low mate value men and men who don't define themselves as incel subculture but find themselves with unwanted celibacy. That is a big predictor of misogyny.
See, I don't even think it's just the program on the matriarchy, because when you really think about how men, like, they even, like, in the Bible, like, it's a lot of deep stuff to go with it. But what happened if women cursed on this earth was literally cursed to desire men, crave men, suffer under men, and men's program or whatever was to genuinely hate women? Like, a man can literally have the best wife, the best family, she cooks and clean, but he still doesn't like to see her in rest. Pretty much, I'm paraphrasing from a video I saw, 2 videos I saw of women talking about how men will use food to, like, hurt you. Like, he would eat too much food. He might buy the food and then eat all the food, and then y'all won't have food for weeks because he don't get paid every, you know. And it's on top of men not seeing women as humans, men truly be wanting to see women suffer. They want to see women work. They don't want to see women resting, even when they're resting. A man will literally cheat on you, move on with the next girl, be happy, probably even marry her. But the moment he see that you're healing and move on, now he's angry, now he's mad. It's like they have this, they truly hate women. Not just on some DL stuff, but like, it's like they're truly programmed to hate women, to want to see women suffer.